Okay, Board of Health meeting is opening at 7:10 p.m.
Is that supposed to be green, or is it just?
No, that's red. It's fine. It's doing what it's
Okay.
supposed to be doing.
Here we go, we're starting.
7:10,
I
call
don't
to
know.
order.
7:10.
Liz is absent, due to needing to.
Child care issues.
And, yeah, and we have someone at the door.
A babysitter flaked on her at the last minute. Her husband's out of town.
I'm sorry. Come on in. Yes, it is.
Did you hear somebody knocking?
I did
No.
not. She did, good for her. Good ears, Kathy.
And, if
Hello.
you would sign in, it's name and address, right?
I think so. Jeez. No internet.
Yeah, I went over these today. I didn't see any
There we go.
mistakes, but.
Oh, well, if
All
you
right.
go to page,
What?
Thank you.
two,
Welcome.
right here,
Yeah.
it should say Kathy, not Colleen. I did not,
Another person thing, okay.
Okay.
yeah, it's another name thing. Should have your name instead of mine,
Okay, so
and that's the only thing I saw.
9D.
All right, so we are already reviewing the minutes of the meeting from March 15th. From the copies that we have in hand, it's two corrections. Lori, it was not in attendance on, 1A, and on
9D.
9D, the third statement, Kathy, was to send an email to Nathan, not Colleen. Those are the two corrections.
That's what I saw.
I can't get McKesson up.
All right,
So tonight when I get home, I'll,
that's fine.
Okay.
pull up
Do we
McKesson.
hear a motion to approve the meetings with the two name corrections?
Make a
A
motion
motion.
to accept.
Second.
Okay, motion by Colleen, seconded by Laurie. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Okay, this is the official copy you're gonna keep. It goes to you, that's the official copy that we keep. Okay, any, COVID-19 flu Maven updates? I haven't.
Nothing at the school.
Nothing at the
No,
school.
I was just there and no new cases. I think there was one parent or something.
Yep,
No school kids.
Yeah.
all
I know,
right.
they're done with it.
It's still around, cause
Yeah.
DPH got hit with it.
Yes, COVID is still around. I had a phone call with someone yesterday, and, one of their relatives in Westminster, had COVID, so they couldn't get together over the holiday. As far as, Maven goes, I have not gotten any reports, and I will bring that up in the Zoom meeting tomorrow morning that I'm participating in with MPHN.
So we signed a thing saying they could
Oh, yes,
be agents of the town and
we haven't gotten any
paid
kind,
them, and still nothing.
right, no reports
Wow.
received.
Okay.
Although they're a little more active than they were before, because we have gotten a couple of emails from the gal who's, the epidemiologist.
Right,
Yeah.
right, so they
So-
are
oh,
doing
okay.
A
some
little more
work,
active.
but
So they're doing something.
no Maven reports.
Okay.
All right, since we have a visitor, I'd like to, step ahead to, I guess it's permits, is that right?
Yeah, 26.
It's, 6A, 26 Hale Road, and let's find this, paperwork.
I think it's
Septic and a well.
So so you don't have to stay the whole meeting.
Thank you.
Are you a Hubbardston voter though?
Am I Hubbard's a voter?
Yeah.
Well, for 34 years.
Would you mind signing her, she's running for the Board of Health again? Would you be
Renewal.
interested in signing
I'll
up?
wait till after you vote.
Oh.
Good.
Well, come on up and
Touche.
join us.
You know, I just wanna,
He's
you do
putting
your
on
thing,
the
I just wanted to make sure,
John.
I kinda messed up, my engineer messed up, so.
Okay, so,
No.
I'm Kathy,
I'm Peter.
I'm Judy.
Nice to meet you, Jim.
Lori,
Colleen.
Colleen, and you know Nancy.
How are you?
All right, so you had several things done with your property, is that correct?
I thought we were just here for the septic, so.
Yes, we
Yep.
reviewed, I'm just speaking out loud, that
No,
we
that's fine.
reviewed these, septic design,
Yep.
in January, everything was approved, and so on and so forth. And then there was a little bit of a mix-up, and the
Right,
mix-up
I missed this
that I
process or something like
understand,
that, but my engineer, so.
is that, you thought, someone else had put in for the well
This.
permit,
Yes, that was covered, yep.
and then something
And
else.
Brewer thought, well, he had done.
And Brewer Well Drilling thought he had done it, they went ahead and, put the well in, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
And so now we're.
But I submitted all the water tests to the town after he did, his drilling, which I thought he was taking the permit out. So all the water tests were submitted, cause I submitted them, but I thought that he had took the permit.
We
Where
had-
did you send them to?
The Lemonster place,
No, I mean, where did they come?
on.
The report?
Email, or whatever, my wife did it online, or whatever.
that needs to come to
I'm not sure where,
inspect
I
at
haven't seen that.
Hubbardston.
Comes to what?
It needs to come to Nancy.
Oh, okay.
Send it to me via email at
Okay.
inspect, yeah.
I was gonna bring that with me, cause I forgot about that.
Since we don't have the well quality report,
Mm-hmm,
that is holding up me signing this, okay?
okay, I'll go get it, bring it back.
Are you close by? All right.
I
Oh,
live
you're
on
in
Hale
Well,
Hale.
right on Hale.
Okay, if you wanna do that,
Yeah, I
then we
will,
can
cause I don't,
review
I
it.
don't want anything held up if possible, so.
Sure. If you are willing to do that,
No, I'm willing.
all right, sir.
All right.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Thank you. Leave the door open.
Yeah.
We're trying,
I know.
we'll have it locked.
So I'll just leave that right there.
Okay.
So how does that work if someone didn't get the permit ahead? There's no
We are
fine or
nice
anything, right?
people
It's
and we
just-
typically don't fine.
Okay.
However, that will be part of a discussion later in the meeting about things not being done in proper order,
Okay.
and stuff. I think we have to start with this much work going on.
Yeah, seems like the town's exploding.
We need to,
Well, there's not
insist
much
that
to do
people
with it.
follow the rules.
Yeah, in
So-
the right order.
And,
Okay.
yes,
That's what always puzzles me, is how does this town keep adding houses when you've got 2-acre lots required.
'Cause it's
45% of the town is owned by the state.
Mhm.
well, 70% can't be built on. Only 30% of the town can be built on. The other 70 is either DEP or
Right.
watershed or whatever.
Something, yeah.
Yeah.
They're finding lots.
Okay, so we will go back to,
Farmland is being divided up.
Title 5 reports, item number 4 on the agenda.
Okay.
And the first one we have is 18 Mayo Road, which is, oh, I didn't bring the paperwork. A septic system.
Oh, I think I did something else.
Did you-
Is that what you were looking for? This.
Oh, yes. Yeah, there it is. So they had a,
No, this is,
go ahead.
that's just that's his.
Installers.
That's his, because you were questioning if he had
And
an
we did-
install.
and he did do it.
Yes, he did
Perfect.
have one.
Okay,
that's why I
so
put that in.
18 Mayo Road, failed their Title V and needed repair of the D-box, replacement of the D-box and the
It should be right in here.
and and replace and repair the clean out discharge piping, which is 2 spots. And I get a call last Friday asking if I can come out and inspect it because we had not increased the rates to cover fill charges $100 for the components, and we have not increased the rate on this, so I did it because I do it for free because I'm on the board and I've done these inspections before for a couple years. So I went out and did it. Fortunately, it was very close to where I live. It was convenient. However, we do need to be very careful in reminding people that they need to set up with the sanitarian or whoever's going to do the inspection, should it happen to be me in a rare case, before they actually start the work, because they didn't want to have to pay an extra day for excavators and all this other stuff on such a small repair and then charge the homeowner the additional fee. So I very loudly reminded them, loudly in that I said it 3 times, that they needed to set this up before they plan to start a job, to make sure that someone is available.
And it was a weekend, so they wanted to get it all done.
In any case, it
They're
is
lucky that
fine.
you went.
I took photos of it, I filled out the completion form, which is still at my house. And I, obviously, at the same time, I filled out a duplicate and handed it to the homeowner who is selling the property, so that he has it for whenever they close on the property, to whoever's buying it, and it looks perfect. And then they were backfilling it in. So that's the story behind this one. So the Title V parts that needed correction have now been corrected. That's the summary of it, that one. Long and short. Actually kind of long. I tried to not make it long, but turned out that way anyhow. Next, we have 82 Ragged Hill Road,
Just that it passed.
and it has passed. Do a quick look here. Reaching Fields. 140 by 20. How many bedroom house? What's this?
Doesn't it say toward the end?
Yeah, keep going, Kathy. Comments. Alright, everything looks okay to me, but you guys can check it. The next one is 38 Morgan Road, which failed.
So that's on the tax schedule.
I'm sorry?
That was the one that was in tax.
Oh, but it's correct, that has
Yes,
been
and
correct.
I have the paperwork here to
Jeff had to
show
write it.
that.
Hmm?
Jeff Hackle will do that.
Um,
what's wrong with the, you said with the soil suitability?
They just did a soil suitability, I just received that last week.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here's the failed test. Real quick.
40 Litchfield, big.
Yeah.
Here's the failed test, and I'm gonna look at this soil suitability.
Covers the tank.
I always have to get a map.
Aren't they
Where
pretty
the heck-
standard now
How
at
far
like
up
two-
on
250?
Morgan Road?
Why would you need such a big?
I don't know,
we
I'm
have a
not
map?
sure.
What's the number?
38.
38.
It's gotta be at the top of the hill.
Yes. I would say so.
I don't know what regular size Litchfield, my whole backyard
Is that
is
the one that's-
Litchfield. So I don't know.
Okay, the Meager property, okay. They found it.
Mm-hmm. I work at the police station.
Yeah. I'm the neighbor with everybody watching, everybody zoom up the street. They found him. He'd been, Fred Meager, he died. And sister, I think it was his sister that came in and found him. On a road check. So,
Sad.
yeah.
I don't,
It's a little blue house.
so, I'm not seeing.
Nancy?
It's in the back of- No, no, no.
Okay,
Pumping
so,
information.
all right,
No, so we don't have any pumping information on this thing either.
there's nothing as to what the soil evaluation results are yet.
No.
Okay,
No.
so,
You
on
wanna
this
put that
failed
at the-
one,
Um,
the failed one, we're just gonna hold because we don't have the soil results back. Okay, you don't even have to worry about it. So, and that is
38.
38 Morgan, we're awaiting for soil suitability report.
So they're going to replace the system, is that the plan? Is that why
Yeah.
they're going that way?
Yes, that's the way I read it. Okay,
It's a single cesspool, that's why. It's our very old house, or very old system.
okay.
Oh, so this, we're not even looking at this.
No, you
This
don't
is the
have to
failed
worry
one.
about it,
That's
we'll
the
put it
failed
back in
one.
the folder.
But the reason is it's the cesspool. It's not a septic system.
Okay.
Is that
Well,
one,
the
is
house
that?
was built way back when
Oh,
they
no,
were
it's
anybody
even too
around.
bad.
It's approved. Here's the
When they
review
went
of
to
it.
school, and
So
they
you can
first
just
house
put
on
your
the street.
closed stack of
That's
things
where the
done.
house was.
Alright,
Wow.
water tests,
We don't-
none
we have any.
reported this time, so we move on. So. We're holding off. Okay, I have in front of me, we're going to be Hackler Brothers, and their, installer's permit for this year. And I make a motion that we approve that, I make a motion that we also approve, Cauldron Farm Campground, primitive campground, by, owner Bella Caldera. I make a motion that we approve, installer permit for Wachusett Landscape.
I think it's Sinkowitz.
Sinkowitz, yes. The next one is an, installer permit for John Anderson of Ringe, New Hampshire. All related to specific construction sites, that's why they're asking for it. An installer permit for, I don't see it on the list.
Yeah, those came in afterwards.
Okay.
That came in yesterday.
Okay, Haley Construction, of Westminster. And that just came in. another installer permit for
That's
Platinum Development
That's Mike.
from, Michael Krasowski, I think,
mhm.
if I didn't slaughter the name, Ringe, New Hampshire. So, do we have a motion to approve all of these installers permit and one campground permit?
A motion.
Second?
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
And now I'm gonna pass these around to be signed.
okay.
Okay.
Funny, this one doesn't have when it expires. So I wrote it in.
Maybe it's the way it was printed, maybe it printed lower or something and it
Oh,
didn't.
yep, so I wrote it in. Okay, last one.
And that was the, piece of Lakers campground with the pool,
Okay.
that wasn't on it, cause I just got the check from
Oh,
today.
you, okay. In addition, we have one more that I missed. Peaceful Acres, yep, campground, just, brought in their check today. They have a campground with a pool. We have collected a fee for the pool and the pool inspection as well as the campground. And, I make a motion that we approve this permit to operate the recreational camp for 2023. Second?
Second,
Judy second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
when did they open?
Peaceful Acres typically opens Memorial Day weekend.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Carol Curtis is
Yep.
still owner and operator of the campground.
I was thinking May 1st, but
It might be, but, I know a couple times, it's been around that time.
It's warmer May 31st.
Maybe she will, maybe she'll open sooner. Alright, it's just, attached with all the paperwork, so it's
Yep.
just the top of it. So you've got all of the, you're gonna add all of the additional
Mhm.
ones in
Yep.
to the minutes. Okay. All right, well, our guest is back, so once we finish signing off, come on up and let's
Thank you.
review your information again.
This is the water report.
Oh, okay.
My wife said she sent it somewhere, but, that's all I know.
It's
I
floating
was about
around
to
out
send
there.
it or receive it, but
You might wanna put a softener system in.
oh, I know that, yeah.
Because you have
We live
iron.
in town.
You have, and something that will also correct for the manganese?
Yep.
Okay. And then once you get that in, please bring us an updated water
Copy
test.
when the conditioner's in.
Yes.
Yep.
That you have drinkable water.
Yep.
So you're still gonna owe us one more water test when your water system's running.
Installed.
When your water system's running, okay?
Yep.
So we want you to have safe drinking water.
No, I
okay?
know. Like I said, I've been here a long time.
Once the system goes in, run it for 2 weeks and then get the test done. You'll get a
Yep.
better,
Yes, that is correct. And you're,
Okay, but
if
that's not
okay.
gonna affect occupancy.
No.
No,
Okay.
no. You can all look at it.
So you have to pay extra if you wanted to test for the PFAS.
Yeah,
PSA.
PFAS,
Yeah.
yeah. That's much, and it's a huge fee. It's not cheap.
So people aren't gonna do it, cause it's so expensive.
Yeah,
Uh,
well,
Right. Well, occasionally people will.
Well,
Last year there was a company that was offering free testing to keep people, so.
What is your concern now?
Oh, no, we're just
No, I
talking.
mean, no,
Not
two,
in
'cause
yours.
you have to pay for each metal, so
No.
manganese and iron.
no.
No,
Oh.
we're talking about PFAS, which is plastics
in the water.
that are not for you.
No, I'm just, cause when you
Not
wanted to
for
retest it, so I
you.
gotta retest.
You do
And
not
the-
have to do the PFAS. You're not in an area where there's any concern. But in other towns like Westminster, it has gotten into some people's wells from an old industrial site.
Well, they have so many tests, you pay for this, so I
Oh,
wanna
yeah.
know what I have to get tested.
Yeah,
That
The
changes.
same thing.
Whatever
They
you
would
have.
just
Oh,
do
same
it.
thing as there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, you're just gonna repeat this exact same testing.
Okay, that's
Gotta make
fine.
it-
So we're
Cause
just
when I
having
went
an
there, they said
airplane,
you hired
people on
manganese and
airplane.
iron,
Yeah,
they could,
have full
you could do
tank.
just 2 minerals or something. That's what the company was saying.
ETR Labs.
Yep, when I went, they said, okay, you're high in this, you could do 2, it's so much per mineral if you want to do iron,
It's better
manganese.
to go for the whole, because it's a new system, so go for it.
Yes, I
Go
would
for the whole
recommend that
thing.
you just repeat this
No,
again.
that's fine.
Okay. Do you know if there's a copy or?
Yeah, I can make.
Can you make a copy for our files? All right. And, I will sign off on that.
Check that off the to-do list.
Oh, and here, make a
That'll be
copy
in a
of
few
this
months.
for him. And then he
So-
can have a copy of this as well.
They put the well in and then you guys got the permit after?
He
So
was
just
supposed to
kinda-
get the permit, no, that was a misunderstanding.
But you have it now, right?
Yes, yes, we have the well permit.
Yeah, everything's been.
But I had all the well
it's
tested and we submitted it and that's, I'm surprised. I know, cause we got that test done after the well was done and my wife submitted it to somewhere, somehow.
Okay, well, you have Nancy's email.
Yeah.
Everything should go to Nancy
No,
in the future, okay?
No, that's fine. I don't do email, so
All right.
that's my way. Thank you.
Our original.
Do you have her
So
email?
that's,
My wife does.
you wanna keep the original, right?
On this,
Yeah,
and,
and that's the water test.
okay,
Good.
thank you.
Thank you.
All
I
set.
know, I know,
Yeah, now it's like,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
see, we were nice, so go ahead. She was all ready.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Yeah, you too.
Have a good night.
No.
You too. Septic plans?
I'm putting her on this,
Oh, I have it here.
that's on, I have to see that water test before I sign
Oh,
off.
okay.
Okay?
Yep.
All right, that bring us up to
7.
7. Do you have any other engineering plans to review
No.
here? No?
Nice.
Okay.
Moving on.
Moving on. No open septic or engineering plans to review. Old business. you finished the regulations?
I finished them, but I put them in draft form because I incorporated the new regulations for like tattoo and the new regulations for drinking water.
Yes.
So somewhere along the line, we'll have to just maybe dedicate a half a meeting or something and go through it to make sure you're comfortable with all the details.
Okay, so why don't we plan on doing that at the next meeting?
Okay.
Because then after that, do we not have to have like an open meeting? Or do we just approve them? I've
I
lost
don't know
track
what
of
the
regs.
procedure is. I know that in the past when we've added some, regulations, like, we just voted them in, but they were like simple ones.
Right.
Mhm.
You know, they were like the
It's
Rieta
not-
Ranch type of, regulation, things like that.
Yeah, half hour
So
for.
But these are a little more
new.
complicated, so we'll have to check out with the.
Okay. So between now and the next meeting, or, so by the time we have the next meeting, we should know what we have to do, whether we can vote on it directly or need to hold a public hearing or not,
Yeah,
considering this is a fully revised plan,
right,
regulations,
right.
not a plan.
It's really, it's
Regulations.
updated extensively, so.
So the well water stuff got changed?
Yeah, the state came through with a, guidance, it was guidance, and, but, but when the lawyers get a hold of the paper, instead of it being a 2 or 3 pager, it's 23 pages.
It is, it's huge.
And does it include testing for PFAS or no?
Yes,
Yes.
Describes when it needs to be done.
I was talking
these
to
regulations are 75 pages long.
I was talking to a nurse friend of mine today, cause I worked at the school in Gardner, and she lives in Westminster, and her well is at 500 PFAS.
Wow.
She said they had to put in this POET filtration system even for their lawn watering in the garden, and yeah, because that stuff, if it gets into your vegetable garden, then you're eating it in your vegetables. Like
Yes.
she said it's crazy, they paid a fortune, and every time they test for them, it's like $700.
Wow.
And that they
It's
come
huge.
back
It's
and
a huge
retest and
test.
retest and retest and retest. She lives like right near Monitech, like behind
Oh my
Monitech.
goodness.
Yeah, she
Wonder
said
if
it's been
Monitech
a
has a
nightmare.
problem.
Well, they're hooked up to Fitchburg Town Water and Sewer,
Oh.
so, but those other houses
And then,
still have well and
don't
septic.
they have to test,
Who?
do the, city water and that?
Yeah, they
have to
test their town or city water all the time.
Yeah,
So they have regular, but the people with wells,
wow.
yeah. She was kind of upset. She said Westminster never told them.
Wow.
Yeah, kind of
I don't
nasty.
think Westminster really knew.
Okay.
Well, they said something else saying test your well,
All
but not
right,
specifically
so,
PFAS.
Yeah.
yeah,
They were-
it's
they
an
were kind of-
ongoing issue, for
Yeah, they
sure.
were kind of surprised about it as well.
Um,
I just threw on it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of mishmashed.
yeah,
A little bit.
so a little bit about, our fees. We did increase our fees for perks and Title V inspections, but not the Title V review. Where's the Title V review
This is 2022.
Oh, this is the one that you need to change.
Yeah. Okay. Temporary mobile.
Oh, okay, so I printed these out, but these look like they're the old ones, it's 2022.
Okay, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I printed that off on the town site, but
Okay.
I think these are the old ones.
Yeah. So what is it you want to raise?
Okay, I'm gonna pass this around. On, the section on construction permits and inspections, under disposal works for repairs, we need to increase the fee from $100 to something higher, because if Phil does the inspection, he charges $100. And,
And it's says it's 2 inspections.
So if it's, I'm going to say, $100, that it should be 125 per inspection.
So 250 total.
It may require, sometimes it doesn't, cause it's part of a whole new construct thing, or whatever.
Well, that's the repair.
So should you,
So under repairs, we're gonna just cross off includes 2 inspections and state 125 per inspection.
Okay. That's
Inspect.
a little better. So if they need to,
They will be charged for 2.
Okay.
Title V inspections, we increased that because he's charging us $200.
That's what's on the website.
Who didn't
Mhm.
change it?
She just said it was website. This one, she's
I just
got-
printed this off today off of the
Yeah.
website.
Yeah.
It says 75.
We approved 225 in November
And they didn't change it.
and never got changed.
So that was-
There's a lot
Because
of
Phil
stuff on
cha-
that website that's behind.
So Phil, in November, we approved it because Phil charges 200, so it's supposed to be 225.
Well, when we get this all squared away, then these folks need to have the fees as soon as they pull whatever their first permit is for building.
Right.
Say that again.
They should have a copy of this. They should be part of the package that they get when they first pull, when they first come in.
They don't get a package.
Anymore.
That's the problem.
Well, there used to be packages.
Oh, I don't know.
All right, I'll show you samples. We had packages, so.
And that's what they should get.
They should get a
because
package.
There should be no
Yeah.
questions,
And-
Right.
you know. when you're
Right.
But it
gonna-
So
needs to
that-
be updated on the website.
Yeah,
So we
absolutely.
can-
Look
so-
at him,
Printed this
he's,
today.
Mhm.
look at him, he doesn't do email. So,
Some people will. Well permits was 80. And then we should add review
That's 80.
of water tests.
okay,
Cause in new construction, they have 2 water tests and we have to review them. And or maybe have someone else do it. At this point, we are doing it. So I'm going to say at least.
I don't see the well test.
Well, there's a well
Permit.
permit, but there's no water testing listed.
Right, we're
at
gonna
all.
add review of water
Add.
tests, $25 per test. And so therefore, for new construction, it's gonna be $50, because we review it at the time the well is done, and we have to review it again before occupancy is signed off on. Okay? And
Are both those times with the water filter system, or is the first one without it?
First one's without it, when
the
the
first
well
one's
goes
as
in.
soon as the water gets turned on.
Okay.
Beach permit, campground, flea
It usually, and it should, that first one should include also, it used to be that we just asked for, bacteria counts.
Yeah,
But,
And on the,
and then
Right.
I think
have the second one,
it
once
says
it ran
on the
the water for a
application,
couple weeks,
50 and
then
75.
run for
Yeah.
So is it 55?
manganese and iron
Because
and
it
salt.
says 50
and
on the
that stuff.
application.
I know, and we
Says-
changed it to 55.
Okay.
So,
Cause if the
okay.
bacteria count is high, then you wanna take
Go.
care of that first
Yeah.
before you do the salts.
Yeah.
right, to move on down, for right now, the food establishment permits and inspections are okay, because I'm still doing them, because I'm on the town. So if we hire someone, then these will have to change, but for 2023, these will be fine. On the next section of miscellaneous permits and inspections, the application for pools that they pull online said 50, however, it should be 55 as it is on the list, cause we had raised it, when we had raised everything $5 a couple years ago.
Yeah, this says 55.
However, the inspection for the pool permit should be $75 per inspection, and we're gonna go
Is
per
that even on
inspection.
here? Pool inspections not even on here.
It says 55 for pool permit, and then under the inspection column, it says 55, but it should be 75 per inspection. And we're gonna have to make that very clear.
Oh, we
Um,
need to change it on the form.
Yes, it needs to be changed on the form too.
Yep.
Okay?
So that would be the campground, Carol Curtis's, and then Ron Bird.
Correct.
Those
for
are the
this
only
year.
two right now.
Correct. Also, should be a fee for the primitive campground. And,
Yeah.
and it's on the permit, but we don't have it listed on the website, and it should be listed, it is $50. Okay?
Alright, so that's the permit.
Yeah. And we got this covered.
And how much was that one, the permanent campground inspection?
Right now,
50.
for the inspection as
Oh,
well. No.
oh, no.
Right now, there's no fee because I do it. It's big,
Well, there should be something.
yeah.
It should be the same as the other campground.
Right.
The campground permit,
Yeah.
which is $155. I thought
The
this was
ins-
the inspection.
So it should be 50 in the future.
So
50.
primitive campground inspection is 50.
Yeah, we should do the permit fee at 50 and the inspection at 50. Whether or not, because I'm on the board, I can't charge
So this
anything,
is-
so.
This is permanent, so it should-
All right, so I make a motion for the following changes, and that
So,
takes care of this.
Not
Is there any
wait a
more?
minute.
What did we miss?
We gotta change those, which I can do, those that I highlighted.
Okay.
Um,
And this is covered now. Or is there something else besides this?
Yeah, because.
I covered it here.
Here it is. Alright, so for the pools, for new, they do a building permit for,
Oh,
to put in a
build?
pool.
Yeah,
It's $240 for that.
okay, speak up, so if someone puts in a new pool,
They
there's
get
a
a building
building permit
permit.
fee that they have to pay of $240. Now, what's
Now
the issue?
Phil,
That's an
Phil
in-ground?
was,
In-ground.
yeah, so Phil was saying, this is what he replied to me.
Okay, so Phil would need to review, the pool plan.
To make sure that it's not
Not-
going on a septic or,
Right.
you know,
And that would not be
in
a good
boundary
thing.
lines.
It drains into the septic system.
Right.
Yeah.
And he stated here that he would do a review for $30.
So he would do a review, so Phil would, alright, so we need to add into here, pool permit is 55,
But this is different, cause this is just a pool permit for one
Right.
that's already there. No, maybe it'll go up here.
yep, new pool,
Installation.
in-ground
Right.
installation.
Review.
It's going up here.
Review,
Oh, because
And
it's.
we're
yeah,
gonna
because
charge
it's
$50.
Construction, yeah.
because we don't, $50 for the review. Okay.
So that's what that was all.
Alright, so that takes care of that little part, and
So
that
it's-
takes care of that little part.
So
And now there's a couple more.
So who updates the website?
Oh, that was just,
She will once we approve everything.
that was just,
Okay.
yeah, that's,
Alright, so, under,
that's on the website.
is this correct? Does this match?
No. That's why
Okay,
I'm saying these need to be changed.
well, yeah, once we approve these, you're gonna go in and change all of this, okay? On the website, if you go in for process for new construction and septic installation, which should have been changed, just didn't happen because of transition between help. fee should now be what's here on our schedule, once we approve it, so, as well as the fee for the review and the fee for the construction permit are the three items that are not listed on the form on the website in this little thing at the correct amount. So I make a motion that for 2023, the following changes be made to what was the 2022 fee schedule, which you can kind of look at hers. We are changing the disposal works construction permit for repairs to $125 per inspection. We are changing the Title V inspection to $225 per review. Review of water tests is being added at $25 per test. New pool in-ground installation reviews will be $50.
This says 50.
Where are you? No, that's a different, we're adding a review up here, Lori, in this category
Okay.
of new pools. Business, campgrounds that have pools pay a permit fee of $55 and will pay a fee of $75 per inspection. We are adding to miscellaneous permits, primitive campground, the permit will be $50 and the inspection will be $50 per year. Do I hear a second on the changes?
Are you gonna put, like, as of date on the website as to
Yes,
these
as
new ones?
of-
And what about people that have already got paperwork in?
I don't think you can
Are they-
mention
are they-
that.
The old
Their
price?
grandfather.
Their grandfather
Yeah,
down.
Yeah,
they already
okay.
got it in then.
Alright.
So,
Alright, I'll make-
so let's
I'll make a
these
motion.
will be the changes going into effect after tonight's approval. Changes will be made to the website ASAP, please. This one has to get changed right away for other stuff.
Yeah,
So,
because
I made the motion, Colleen is second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay. Here's. Okay, the next item along with that is, oh, I just lost it. I lost my thought.
Fines?
We were gonna talk fines.
Yes, there's fines and there's something else. Oh, give me that back again, maybe I'll try.
I would hold on the fines because in the regulations, some of the state has come in with some fines already established on state level. So they're already there, so we'll have to pull them out. And the new
Okay.
drinking, and there's there's a couple of those regulations where they were already, the fines were established.
All right, so So
So
we'll
we can take a
post-
look at the next
so-
week.
at the next meeting, we have 2 new sections to review on
Mhm.
the regulations and the fines. Okay? There was one.
Does anybody need me to send it out again,
What?
regulation?
I don't think so. This will go in my email.
Okay.
I'll check.
There was one other thought that was important,
I think
and
I
now I
did
forgot
find
it.
You sent them out last,
Oh, it was weeks ago.
yeah, it was like before the last meeting.
Yeah.
Didn't you?
Yes, yes.
Fines. Oh, I do remember. Currently, from the septic account, when money comes in that is going to be paid, and for these items, these various items, 80% goes into our Board of Health septic revolving account, 20% goes to the town. However, because the septic account is currently pretty high, it's more than $10,000 in the red, for a number of reasons over the last year, I would like to make a motion that we do not, that we keep 100% of septic related fees until such time as the account is no longer in the red. If that takes 6 months, if it takes a year, then it takes a year. That is the only way I can think of to correct the problem.
How much money needs to be corrected?
It's almost, it's over $10,000.
So you were saying things were being paid out of that account that shouldn't have been paid out of that account?
Some
we
things
think?
were not being collected.
Okay.
Wasn't there some overpayment?
There was, payment let's start a little bit backwards. Our previous inspector, charged for every additional time he went out for a septic construction visit. Whereas Phil charges a flat rate that includes the perk, the bed bottom inspection. Tim was charging at least $50 for that bed bottom inspection. Then after the system is laid out, you go back again. After it's covered up, you go back again. 3 more inspections. Phil charges 1 fee. Tim was charging for each step of the process, including the engineering reviews.
So we were paying him more than we were bringing in?
Correct. And it was not brought to our attention as a board that there was this discrepancy. And then, of course, for 3 months from late spring through the summer, there was no way of knowing what was happening because we didn't have anyone working more than 4 hours every week and a half or week. Well, they were trying to hire someone, so that's how we got behind so quickly. Having looked at at some of those monthly reports, I can kind of see that that's what was going on. It wasn't like anybody stole anything, but it just wasn't being properly billed. So, my only answer to correcting it is that we, from this point on until we become in the black and solvent again in the septic revolving account, that we keep all the monies that are brought in. That's my motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and will you notify the accountant then that that change goes into effect as of 8 p.m. tonight? Okay, that's the only way to correct it without asking anybody for additional monies. We'll just bring it in. Okay? Right. It looks like there will be either old business on the cannabis update. It looks like we are moving forward with a meeting potentially on May 3rd at 7 p.m., a joint meeting of the planning board and the Board of Health. And thank you for replying that, about being able to attend or not attend.
Do we, I had asked, do we know what time? though?
7.
7.
7.
Yeah.
We have now found
I
out
asked
that
the
it's
same
7.
question too.
That was what that was.
I might be able
Right.
to get there around 8.
That's fine. Okay.
If people are still there, do you think it'll still be going an hour? Yeah,
Yes.
all right.
There's a specific agenda that will be coming out. As soon as the meeting is approved to be posted by the planning board, then I'll forward that to you. I've already gotten it from Mark, their clerk, the planning board clerk. But I haven't sent it out because I'm not 100% sure it's been approved to be held then. Okay? Any update for any kind of health nurse issues? Or we're still.
We're just on hold
We're
until
on
we can
hold.
figure out the holding funds.
Right.
And sent you the last, update from Dennis. And I did ask him about that again, and, cause he went up to like 2017. And so then he was having trouble trying to track down the last 5 years.
Correct.
It's not a public access document that he could, trace down.
Okay.
So I guess from that point forward, we're going to need to do some sort of in-person discussion as to, because the big question that we have on the Holden funds is what is supposed to be in that fund? Because they changed numbers
Mm-hmm.
and they changed, distribution, or they stopped distribution to the Board of Health. And we need to know what is supposed to be in that fund and what is actually in that fund.
So, two things, what's supposed to be there and then what actually is in there currently.
Right.
We have the history, thanks to Dennis, up to
2017.
2017, but between 2017 and now 2023, there's a question.
That's when they started moving, they went through a number of treasurers, or they moved the
And account numbers got
counting,
changed.
yeah. And that's how some of our septic account got too also.
Right, because, the account number got changed and it was put in the wrong account.
Yeah. So we
I
need to
have
do a
not
little
heard back about,
exploration.
accounting?
Yeah, forensic accounting, correct.
Yeah.
so, the other part of the Holden Hospital is, combining that with health nurses on hold, because we're waiting for the, understanding of the Holden Hospital account for having the money to hire a part-time nurse.
Right.
Is that, I have not heard back, from the public records yet. So, I think I will make myself another note. Contact them again.
Yeah. So we need records for 2018, 2019, 20, and 21, and 22.
The last 5 years.
Yeah.
Contact them again for public record.
We need to know where it all went.
Yeah, really.
Okay. And that's basically what she has written out here. You guys can just read that real quick. It's a great summary. Thank you. Under all the new, the local Board of Health regulations, here's one copy of it, and, we'll review those new sections next time, so I'm gonna table any further discussion on it at this point. Give that
Yeah,
back
and
to
I
you.
dropped by the, Board of Health today, and Nancy has all of our reference books, all nice and tidy.
I know, it's
So-
wonderful. And she is creating a notebook with all these guidelines, if you will, of, okay, when someone comes in and what should be done, there's notes about how to handle certain things.
Oh, good.
Such
Office manual.
an office
Yeah,
manual. She is
absolutely.
creating an office manual for us. Thank
Good.
you. We asked for it for a couple years.
So there's a public health guidebook, which is how thick?
Very thick.
And then there's all the legal documents, legal handbooks, and
There's a nurse.
EDS.
There's a nurse book.
Yeah, and once we get a
Yep, health
health nurse on board, there'll be one for her.
Nice.
And then we have the EDS plan. Yeah.
That one's pink. That binder.
Okay, we, just so you know, we had gotten a report of a animal bite from, an urgent care, that occurred March 30th. And the report was also, notified to, the animal control.
Was a dog?
Cat. Okay.
Was it up to date on its rabies and all?
I believe so.
So, cat bite fever is the biggest problem.
Was it a cat or a dog?
Cat.
Oh, it was a cat.
And was at Chippewa Street. We'll leave it at that.
What did they do to the cat to make him so angry?
Well, it's like
Maybe.
cats up on a tail.
Maybe nothing.
Although I got bitten because all of a sudden I was living in Indiana, and all of a sudden on the bathroom screen, I don't know what scared the cat, but all of a sudden he's hanging off of the screen.
Oh, my
and
cat
couldn't
did
get
that
him-
once.
Yeah, and then he couldn't get himself down.
Mm-hmm.
So
Then they get scared.
they'd get scared,
Mhm.
but I got him down, but in the process I ended up with cat bite fever.
We have gotten,
Not fun.
the Memorial Day Parade is to be May 29th, and, the committee has extended an invitation for us to, march in the parade. Here's the details, just
Oh,
a notice.
geez, I'm not doing that.
Um,
I have enough problem
Put us
walking
all-
with this new knee
What if they
without.
put us all in the back of a truck or something, dude? They could like wave a flag or something.
So, just to say that,
A
I
public
saw
health
this
flag.
email today,
What the
just came
hell?
through an
Yeah.
email.
Oh, did it? Yeah.
Yep, we got an
I didn't
email on
see
that
it.
today too.
it's just the.
Oh, you know what? I saw it, but I closed it because I was just trying to get the Board of Health stuff read.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I
the
gotta
thing
read it
that's
tomorrow.
due
14th.
the 14th.
Well, I'll read it now.
What was
Well,
it?
the knee
It's
won't tolerate
the application
that.
for the grant.
For recycling?
No.
Oh, is that different?
I don't know, tell me. Um,
Yeah, that's like, it's some kind of a grant.
Okay, Nancy reminded me that Friday is a deadline for a possible grant application with, DEP from communities. Provide technical assistance to increase recycling, composting, waste, hazardous waste diversion, and encourage regional cooperation around these
I
issues.
think you sent that out, didn't you?
I think so,
Yeah,
but then
I
they just
remember.
they just sent another one,
A
you know,
reminder.
where it's due soon, so I didn't know if it was anything that you
I'm not
wanted to
sure.
do.
And we could
Okay.
participate in it.
I'll take a look at it.
Does the town have somebody who does grants? A grant writer or something?
No.
No? It's wicked hot in here, right?
It is.
I'm like dying
So
right
I
now.
will,
Like, you can't even
I'm
think.
comfortable.
I will
on
take a
fire.
look at it,
I'm
and if I
comfortable
can
too.
see something that would be appropriate to
A lot.
helping, further cleanup of our old recycling center, I'll fill it in, all right?
Okay.
And then this one,
It seemed
The
to me it was a little more
ES.
complicated than that.
Yeah,
They wanted us to
and
set
these
up
bottom
a
ones, I think,
center.
are just.
Like our own recycling
The
center.
the transfer center.
Oh, no, these are, no, these.
oh, yeah, if
Is that what
that's
that
the
was about?
focus,
That was what it came across to me as.
well, no, we're not doing that. That's maybe why I ignored it.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, okay.
I will look at it again, and if that in fact is what they're encouraging is recycling transfers.
Was that something that we got on email?
Yeah,
think so.
well, I got it when she was on vacation,
I'll
so I
review
was
it.
receiving all the emails that Kathy
Oh, okay.
normally gets. That's what
I didn't make you have all of them. Just the ones that I really thought you
Yeah.
might be interested or whatever.
Okay, I just saw your email in regards, to, the updated EDS
Yes.
draft.
Do you want me to explain?
Yeah, so
Yes.
that's what this is, and that's the one I didn't print out that 134 pages.
I saw that.
I
There-
did review your, comments,
Yeah.
those 2 pages.
Yeah, so I sent it out to everybody,
Yep.
so you've got copies. But Sarah, would like us to review this new updated version of an EDS plan. And, I think when you start reading through it, you'll see that, again, it's very comprehensive, it's very well written. But, there is also, there's a lot of stuff in there that I'm not sure that a small town like us really needs all of that. So, we can go ahead and keep it if we want to, as information. But again, I'm having troubles getting, they did put all of the forms and all of the, supportive documents, they put them all in appendices at the end. And again, I'm having troubles getting them to come up. So when we did ours back in 2017, I can't believe that, 2018?
Have you been on that long?
I don't think, well, I did it before the Board of Health, I came on the Board of Health.
Okay, that's right,
The Board of Health,
right.
that Board of Health did not, really have a understanding of, and so the
We
request
sure
came to
did
me.
not, there was only 3 of us.
And so it was requested that I look at it and see what I thought. And so I came back and said, what?
What?
And she
And then it
did
took
a
me 6 months to put it.
fantastic job of incorporating all these ancillary sections that are at the end of the report into the sections of the EDS report that we have as our approved one now, which makes it very practical and useful as you go. You're not always trying to search and match things up. She
Mhm.
matched everything up. It's wonderful. So her current comments that she put in the email that she sent out with this new one, I think we have to think on it. We're not gonna make a decision today as to whether any of that needs to be incorporated in our current approved EDS plan or not.
Mhm.
Because, again, it's only advisory from,
Yeah, I think every town should be able to.
yes, we do. We
Yeah.
have the
I mean,
right
I know
to
we
have
have
our.
one, but I mean, if they're trying to push more on us, it really we wouldn't have in this town.
Yeah, they have a lot in there on biosurveillance and all
Yeah.
that. I
I mean-
question, like, really, is that important for a little town like?
Yeah, they should allow all the towns to just, they shouldn't be pushing it, they should just say, here it
Well-
is, like you say, an advisory,
Is that like
And then let the
testing
towns decide
wastewater?
what-
Is that what you're saying, like
what's good for them and what
testing
isn't.
wastewater, the bio
'Cause we-
surveillance?
I mean, I'm sure a lot of work went into this.
We can,
I don't know
they
what
did,
it's all-
That's how they were
they
And it-
tracking
and it works for our
COVID in
town.
colleges, right, they
Yeah.
were doing
So-
testing the
And the newer
wastewater.
one,
That's right, that's right,
we
so
could
it's
keep
informational.
in as,
Well, you can keep it
ed-
as
as advisory
Yeah.
information.
file it with the other one.
As advisory
File it.
information. Should one of these other unusual situations ever occur before the next update of the EDS plan.
Yeah.
That's what I am thinking,
Yeah.
because what you did for our 3-person board when there was just 3 of us and didn't know much about any of that
Emergency
was
disaster.
really
Hmm?
wonderful.
What does it stand for?
And it's
Emergency
readable.
disaster.
The best thing
That's
about what
what's
Judy did
EDS.
is made it very readable so that you
It's,
can actually use it.
Mhm.
If we
In an
had to,
emergency
in a
time.
disaster, we can use it, the
What
current
does
plan.
the EDS stand for?
Emergency disaster
Dispensing site.
dispensing.
It's-
Emergency dispensing
it's
site.
dispen-
That's like the clinic,
Okay.
Yeah.
the
Alright,
clinic.
okay.
It's not the coop.
It's for the plans on how to set up.
Is that like part of the coop? Kinda sorta?
No, kinda sorta, kinda sorta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
COOP is the overall
The- that's
town
a-
emergency
The
plan.
coop is what you
Well,
would think is
how-
overall
Board of Health
emergency
has one too.
disaster.
Yes, we have
Okay.
COOP plan
Yeah.
too.
That's where we're
Emergency
supposed to be.
operations.
Also has no
To
evacuation
me.
site.
Don't worry about
I
it.
keep harping on
We
that
got it.
over
We
the
got-
Judy
floor.
will come in with something, I'll say.
Amy,
We
where
got
does
it.
this go?
Oh, yeah.
I keep saying,
And-
wait
It's
till the
okay.
principal.
And today I also,
Principal,
and
we're going.
today I came in just to add to Nancy's thing.
Cause you didn't have enough, that's why. So, you know. you
Public
get-
Health Association, has actually put out, a very nice checklist.
Color-coded.
Color-coded even,
Ooh.
for setting up a shelter.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Oh,
and
that's
then
nice.
writing it.
And the first thing on the checklist is generator?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that was sort of one of the questions I got from the seniors today. How come
Yeah.
we're not using the school? But anyway,
Gee, I wonder.
so I explained it. So anyway, but it is a very nice list, so, I'm putting together policies and procedures and all of that for the board, for the,
Coop.
town for,
Town coop.
on sheltering,
Mhm.
yeah, and resources and all that stuff.
School
And
and
training,
shelter.
and so I'll have a whole, 3-ring binder on all that. But I gave her the checklist copy, which the Board of Health can hang up, put with their emergency plans, and
Mhm.
that's all you need.
That's all we need, thank you, wonderful. Any other unexpected subjects?
No, just that.
Okay,
Oh,
And I
one
already
thing,
talked about-
one thing
One
more,
more?
Lori,
Yep.
and I would like to ask Kathy Araldi to go make a subcommittee so that we can look at that that
Oh,
new
yes.
EDS plan for Sarah.
yes, would you be willing to be part of a subcommittee to review the EDS?
And if I can get Kathy on board, she's not available right this because her sister passed away, but once she becomes available, then
Would you be willing to serve on a
Sure.
subcommittee to just kinda go through that?
yeah.
Sure.
And see what might be useful to add to our current EDS plan?
Especially if we can get the funds and get that vaccine.
Yes,
Yeah.
I will work on this.
Yes. Let's do
It's
that.
on the top of my
And the
list
more we do
here,
it,
so
the
I
more we
can't
practice over there, then when
use
another
it.
pandemic comes, we'll be all set to roll.
We'll be
Cause we're
rolling.
already doing it with the flu vaccine.
Right.
Okay.
That's
be
what you
rolling.
need to do. You need to keep it current
That's how
and
Rutland,
going.
that's how Rutland started rolling. They
Yes.
were set, ready to go because
Yes.
they'd had practice with the flu vaccine.
Yes.
Okay, there is one other unexpected subject. I had sent the email to, Nathan asking, about when the records will be coming back,
Oh, yeah.
that were taken out to be put on Laserfish. And his reply, and I asked that they be put back in the file cabinets. And, I forwarded the email of his response, which was that, things will be shredded. They're gonna hire a truck or company sometime in the next month, I guess, to shred things. However, we have all discussed before, our feelings on the importance of keeping original paper copies of everything.
At least the
as
septic plans.
for accessibility to people who do not have computers is one of my primary reasons. So I have drafted a motion, and I'll read it out loud. As the Board of Health is charged by the state of Massachusetts with maintaining permanent records, we, the Hubbardston Board of Health, hopefully you'll approves that all Board of Health and building paper documents and maps pertaining to home and business properties in the town of Hubbardston are not to be destroyed or shredded. The paper records are to be maintained in their original condition for 1 full year, that is 365 days, while we assess the quality of the Laserfish system. And this is a motion I think that is important for us to take a stand on. A lot of the documents on the Laserfish look great, but there's some that are very fuzzy, and we haven't accessed the system. We don't know how individuals in town, for example, the man that was here tonight, who does not do anything on a computer, will be able to deal with all of this, and how much time it would take, which we don't have additional funds for, to have our administrative assistant here, spend time helping people with those forms, whereas if we have the original folders and the original copies, you pull the address out, you spread it out where they can look at it, they can't remove it, but they can look at it, and there it is, and they can get a good visual and learning experience from doing this.
Yeah, and I also have a problem with, there's a lot of stuff that's gonna end up on it, and it's not going to be in any, it's gonna, the order of the things that are gonna be on the microfiche is gonna be.
Mixed up. So, again, do we have any other further discussion on this motion? Do I hear a second?
Second,
Well, Judy, well,
everybody goes for
yeah, I
it.
think we all.
We're
All
we're
in
agreement.
favor?
Aye.
Who's seconding?
Judy did first.
Judy BB.
So,
I can pull back.
So I will,
Oh, no,
as a
no.
result of this being unanimous for those in attendance tonight, I will be, we'll get this typed up, and it will be forwarded to the town administration and the select board.
I'm surprised that,
I think
unless,
that-
unless I'm missing something, or unless you don't know, that the other boards aren't feeling the same way,
I haven't asked. I can't answer.
Do
you
they
know?
have as many records and things as we do?
I don't know.
At least, what
I
the
mean-
building inspector does?
Well,
His answer
this
to your
is-
email
this is-
was pretty cut and dry, like.
This is
this is it.
building and Board of Health, because it's all part of property.
Mm.
So it's not just us.
But they had some,
But
they
we
had
are,
some separate files.
we are crossover with building. We are
Mm.
tied at the hip with getting, building permits signed off on. We are part of the approval process. And so we are joined at the hip, and that's why was worded the way it was. It's not just Board of Health, it's Board of Health and building,
Mm.
because we are joined at the hip through these septic and construction and pools and all the rest, okay?
I would think the
We
planning
don't
board would have
operate
some
as
concerns, too.
isolated, board groups.
I would think that the planning board would have some concerns too.
I haven't asked,
Yeah.
I should have, it's a good point. But, so we will notify them, ASAP on that stuff. I think that's the last of the new business under complaints. Nancy, do you know if, Duffy did any kind of, letter or anything in regards to 248 Gardner? It had come
Not
up.
that I know of.
Okay, so it's still, everything's on hold. 91 Hale Road remains open because it's in the process of being taken over by the town. 2 Shawnee Way, we have followed up with phone calls and a voice message to a daughter at the end of March that they should have National Grid shut off the electricity, and she was gonna remove her final items on April 4th. And
And that certified letter to, came back because it came back to us. But we've been in contact, so.
so, yeah, we're not gonna worry about resending the original letter because we have spoken to her in person. The last comment I'll make is that I drove by the property, earlier this last week. I drove by the property last week, I wanna say Thursday, but it does not look like, anyone has been there or done anything. It's just what it is, empty. And all the notices and no trespassing signs are all still there. So, I think at this point, we can consider this resolved for what we are responsible for.
Do we have anything about a house on High Street?
Has a complaint come in? Not recently.
This is, I drove down High Street, and there was a house on the left, and I just quickly saw it, but it looked like it had a lot of structural issues. So,
Well, how about the
I'm-
house on
I'm-
Gardner Road, 85? Have you looked at that?
Which one?
The one at 85 Gardner Road, where the campers are? The person that was just living in the RV?
Yes.
Have you looked at that house?
Oh, it used to be the bait shop?
The old bait shop?
Okay,
It's-
okay.
It's
Yeah.
falling in on itself
The
now.
entire roof is caving in.
It's
Yeah.
caving, I mean,
Okay.
really caving now.
So, all right, so we're
I
gonna
drove by
consider
there the other
that
day,
as
and
If
it
we
was
need a
like,
grant,
wow.
we
Yeah.
need a grant for demolishing some of these, going around and putting
If
big
we
red
see
X's
anything.
on it
Yeah.
and getting them demolished.
Is someone still living on the property in the trailers or anything?
At
They look
85?
pretty
Yeah.
bad.
Yes.
Really?
There was
Time.
smoke coming out of the stack
Of the
in the past couple
RV?
weeks.
They
But
do.
also, I've been by it when it's extremely cold day in the last 2 weeks, since I've been back. And there was no smoke.
There was no
So
smoke.
it's
Maybe it's-
intermittent,
maybe it's intermittent.
apparently.
Yep.
So,
But you can't live in an RV on a property, what, more than 6 months?
correct.
But it was a house, it's
Yeah,
it's
all of a sudden it's
literally
It looks
collapsed.
now
dangerous, yeah.
falling in on itself.
Yeah, it looks dangerous.
Yep.
All right, so 68 Gardner Road.
No, 85.
85, excuse me, add 85 Gardner Road.
What was the one on High Street, Judy?
I'll have to get the number. I just drove by it today and I looked at
alright.
it and I said, you know, it looks like it's starting
House
to
collapsing.
collapse.
I have extra.
Porch is collapsing or something.
I have no
I'll drive by
trespassing
and
signs,
look
I'll
again.
post them.
I just drove down High Street
Happy to
yesterday.
put up no trespassing signs.
Oh, just past the farm.
Just past,
On both properties?
On
No,
the red
85
barn?
85
On
Gardner
the
Road,
left.
Okay.
where the house is.
And
Just
then
on the
there's a
house.
couple houses down. It's a big white house. It's a big white column.
Okay,
oh,
Due to,
oh, I
The
know,
house
yeah.
collapsing.
Do you think that's vacant?
it's empty, but
No, I
just the
think
same.
it's probably occupied, but
Safety.
when I
Okay,
looked at it,
we're running
that's
a little
safe.
late here, so,
That they've been working on forever. I don't know.
think
we
so.
have,
I think so. And of course,
we
it's
did
seven ragged.
Oh.
I'm gonna pass this around, we have a schedule of payments to the treasurer, septics and perks, and the total amount of $2,790. See that one?
Oh, I did that today, that's
Thank
what you
you.
had asked, and I ordered that,
Where's that money come
because those were the book I.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
question.
To replace,
Yeah.
what's at the police department.
Yes.
Well, these are the payments we received,
Oh,
so
this
these are all
came
our
in to
checks,
us.
yeah.
Okay,
So
so does
we're
that mean?
depositing it.
What's this?
So does that mean we're keeping 100% of this?
These were all, I think, the ones that you had said, and then I
Those
could talk
3,000 for us
to
to keep.
Katie about.
Okay, I'll do that.
3,000, so we have to
Yeah.
make 100% of it.
Okay, so
So
in.
is that going into against the septic and all of that?
The accounts, yes, yeah.
So that's 3,000 into that,
No, because it depends on what account,
yeah, right,
yeah.
so at least
Some
a
of-
portion of it is
Oh,
gonna.
yes.
And then, of course, what comes out is any of Phil's fees.
Right, correct.
Right.
So, also, I, have asked to get a new, laser grip temperature gun, for doing the food inspections. The cost, is $24.73, and then non-glare 100-pack office sheet protectors, for some of our reports, of $10.99. So here's the order, and we would like to, I make a
Well, the
mo-
sheet protectors are to replace the ones that I took
Right.
from the police department.
Yes, we borrowed
I
and
borrowed.
we're gonna.
Permanently.
No, we're replacing them.
We're replacing them, so I ask that we approve those two expenditures. Under,
You didn't buy the perforated pizza peel?
so we have 24, what was it, 24?
It's
24,
35 altogether,
Yeah,
35
35 something.
So I make a motion that that's all right, to approve the purchase of those items.
Second.
Judy seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
This EDS subcommittee,
Mm.
Um,
meet like,
On your day that you're available.
yeah, you're funny, right?
Okay,
Yeah, well, I don't know, whenever, you let me know, you know.
I was thinking Thursday, we had tried to meet on Thursday.
Thursday, like night?
okay,
Oh,
any
okay.
other concerns, right, oh, you're discussing the
Oh,
meetings,
sorry,
okay.
EDS, yeah, it's okay.
No, that's fine. I think that's everything of importance for this evening. I make a motion to, do you have the time, Lori?
I do.
What's our
Which
next
one's
meeting?
your next
8:36.
meeting?
8:36.
Well, the second Tuesday of the month.
Okay.
So
On
it'd
the
be the
25th.
20, yeah, the 25th.
Oh,
Yeah, I
second
have
and fourth,
8:30.
excuse me, this is the second. 25th, next meeting to be, April 25th at, 7 o'clock. And I make a motion to adjourn,
Second.
seconded by.
April 25th, I will not be here.
Okay.
I will be in Atlanta.
I'll just have
I
gotten
could
back
dial
from
in.
being away, so hopefully I won't be too jet lagged and I will